Hey, what is up guys, Steven here, welcome back to another video. So yesterday was the Huawei Matebook X Pro launch event in my hometown Vienna, and even better than that, I could test the device for the last 2 weeks. So I think guys, today it's time to bring you the full review, so let's go.
In the last 6 years of doing YouTube, I always wanted something that is as small and portable as a MacBook, as powerful and has as good battery life, to basically take it everywhere I go and edit my videos. I've even bought myself a 2015 MacBook Pro and I just wasn't happy with Mac OS at all. But now Huawei has released something that is the solution for all the people who love the looks and feel of a MacBook but want to stick with Windows. For me personally, the Huawei Matebook X Pro is my new recommendation as the productivity and entertainment laptop to buy right now. The Chinese tech giant Huawei is not known for making laptops, but its 14-inch Matebook X Pro could change all that. So Huawei is right now conquering a lot of markets, and I think with the Matebook X Pro they are doing everything right. At the first look it looks like a shameless Apple MacBook Pro replica, but the Matebook X Pro's keyboard is far more comfortable and it runs Windows. The Core i7 model of the Matebook X Pro I've tested, which packs an NVIDIA MX 150 GPU, 16 GB of RAM and a 512 GB SSD, is now available for 1,499 euros in Austria. If you don't need the graphics card, there's a cheaper entry-level Core i5 with 8 GB and a 256 GB SSD as well. The aluminium Huawei Matebook X Pro is very slim and launches in Austrian space grey. So what you see here in the video is the silver version. It's very easy to open its lid with a single hand and it also feels very stable and robust. On the lid you can find the silver Huawei logo, which has no backlight, and it's maybe a little bit too big for my taste. What I really like about the notebook is that even though it's very slim, it still has plenty of ports. On the left side you will find the Matebook X Pro's Thunderbolt 3 port, USB Type-C port and headphone jack, and also there's a USB 3.0 Type-A port on the right side of it. So for me that's perfect, because I'm mostly using a normal USB mouse and a Type-C SSD. And that means that I don't need to carry any kind of adapters like I would have to on a MacBook or XPS 13. Now something which is new to me is the Matebook X Pro's fingerprint reader, which it uses for Windows Hello Sign-In. The scanner is integrated in its power button and speedily locks you in without any delay. The vibrant 3000 by 2000 pixel display on the Huawei Matebook X Pro provided plenty of detail and brightness. The only reason I've got a MacBook in the past was the screen, because MacBook screens are great for editing and they are super bright. But the Matebook X Pro's 3x2 screen produces 124% of the sRGB spectrum, while a MacBook has 123%, and the brightness is also the same this time. So regarding the screen, with the Matebook you get a screen that's among the best screens you can have on a notebook, and as a bonus, it's also a touchscreen. I personally didn't use the touchscreen at all. It's a nice to have feature, but I'm generation mouse and keyboard and the touchscreen does not provide any additional value for me. But if you like to draw something on your notebook or love swiping through Windows 10, then this is really a great thing. Now usually I don't like Ultrabooks because of their shallow key travel. That's also why I didn't like typing on the new MacBook. Now the keys on the Matebook measure a shallow 1.1mm of vertical travel, but they feel way better than the butterfly mechanism keyboard on the MacBook. And if you didn't like typing on the MacBook, you will be really satisfied with the Matebook. Further, the keyboard has also backlight and it is spill-proof. To be honest, I don't like touchpads and I never will. But I have to say the touchpad on the Matebook is working fine and gestures are also working good, like 2-finger window scrolling or a 3-finger gesture to switch windows. On either side of the keyboard are 2 top-firing stereo speakers that support Dolby Atmos. Audio set at 70 to 80% volume is really loud and impressively clear when playing music or videos. Regarding the size, the sound coming out of it is really good. As mentioned before, the Matebook is running Windows 10 and Huawei did inject just one app into the operating system, the Huawei PC Manager. This service allows for more instant wireless connection between the Matebook X Pro and Huawei phones and integrates the cloud services a little bit. The PC Manager tool also allows for Huawei Share, a sort of Apple AirDrop competitor that allows file sharing between its nearby devices. As you guys know, I'm not a big fan of benchmarks since they don't tell you any real-life experience, and you can look them up on the internet anyway. So I just played some PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds on the Matebook and had a look on how it will perform. Well, for an Ultrabook it's really okay. The MX150 GPU combined with the i7 does an okay job for games on medium graphics and resolution. If you want to play most games on high details, you will get lags or have to lower the res a lot. But for casual gaming or editing some shorter 4K projects, it gets the job done nicely. But also, the battery life is really good, so usually Windows laptops in general have not the best battery life. But in some benchmarks, the Matebook even outperformed Dell's flagship and the MacBook Pro and lasted up to 10 hours in web browsing tests. Also, when I've tested it, I could easily use it a whole day on my trips. So the amazing battery life of MacBooks was one of the reasons why I got one for university and editing videos. But with the Matebook X Pro, you now have a great alternative to the macOS based competitor. However, after all the positive things, there must be also something bad about this notebook, and this is definitely the webcam, which is hidden inside the button between its F6 and F7 keys. It shoots at an angle that focuses on your torso and fingers and not your face. While this is a plus for security-minded users, for Skype addicts or webcam junkies, this is a no-go and forces you to use an external webcam. Also, the Matebook X Pro is not a silent, fanless computer. The fans will sometimes kick up under heavier load depending on the tasks you do. I've mostly noticed this when the computer was plugged into power. On battery it's really far quieter. But anyways, the Matebook never gets loud enough to be annoying and is definitely less noisy than the MacBooks. Also, I had no issues with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and in fact the connectivity was really good as well. So whichever way you look at it though, the Matebook X Pro is a candidate for this year's best laptop. And don't forget, it's a premium ultra portable that's well designed and has plenty of power on top, but it isn't intended to replace gaming notebooks or desktops.
Alrighty guys, so we're now here at the end of this video, and let me quickly sum everything up and give you my personal opinion and feedback on the Matebook X Pro. So this is definitely my next laptop because I love ultrabooks. I was looking for something that is fast, affordable, and while the Matebook X Pro is definitely my personal choice right now because my Asus is super fast, GTX 1070, i7, 16 gigs RAM, but it's so heavy, it's so loud, I can't record voiceovers because it's so loud, it's just super annoying. But there are only a few bad things about the Matebook X Pro that really are not a deal breaker, but they kinda annoy me. First of all, in my country, Austria, not Australia, it only sells in space gray, so it's the darker version, and I prefer the silver one. It gives you a little bit that MacBook feeling. It's a little bit a nicer color. I think the space gray is just for my personal feeling a bit too dark. Okay, next thing. In my country, the Matebook X Pro sells only with an i5. There's a reason for that. The i5 version will start here for €1,500. In the US you can get it for 1,499 USD, which is even less euros. So there you will get the i7 version for this price. Here in my country you get for this price the i5 version. Has a reason because, you know, in Europe everything is more expensive. USA is a strategic market, if I say it correctly now. And also in my country the i7 version would be 1,800, and there are some retailers which think that is too much for the general people, average peoples here, okay? But even though, yes, it's a lot of money, it's almost a MacBook, but I would love to have the i7 version because I plan to use the Matebook X Pro with an eGPU for 4K video editing, maybe gaming, but well, 4K video editing. That's why I have this huge gaming laptop with a GTX 1070. I need the CUDA cores in Adobe Premiere because the software just sucks. You need a lot of power to edit. So that's why I don't want to have an i5, which is only a little bit slower, but it would maybe bottleneck the very powerful eGPU. So I want to have the bottleneck as small as possible, and that's why I need the best configuration. And it's really a little bit sad that they only sell it as an i5 version, but I get the point. For the normal consumers, really guys, there is not a difference. But if you're a super heavy power user and do 4K editing, which this thing can also do combined with an eGPU, then maybe go and buy the i7 version. But well, this is my next laptop because I really love it. Ultrabooks are great, and I love that Huawei is now going into the PC, tablet, whatever market. Alright guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you have any questions about the laptop, put them down below into the comments and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. There will also be a Truth About video very soon because we interviewed a bunch of important guys from Huawei and they answered a lot of interesting questions, so stay tuned in the next days. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm Steven from TechMagnet and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye bye.